Okay, this is Kirsten's presentation. It's Dad, Mom, Andrew, Brad, Ross, and go.
John Elder Robinson said, "All my attempts to make friends had failed. I was a failure. I began to cry. Alone in the corner of the playground, I sobbed and smashed the toy truck into the ground again and again and again, until my hands hurt too much to do it anymore. Why don't they like me? What's wrong with me?" I'm here to talk to you today about autism spectrum disorder. That quote was about a young boy's experience in his world of autism. So why am I talking to you about autism today? It's because every day we interact with somebody who has autism and we don't know it. And it can be kind of awkward because they are different, and it's hard to communicate with them because they have certain problems and disabilities. So to better explain it, I will give you the definition of autism. Autism spectrum disorder is a group of developmental disabilities that can cause significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges. That's why sometimes when we're communicating or they're in social situations, it's hard to interact with them because they don't quite understand. Autism is becoming a bigger problem in America because 1 in every 50 children have it. Also, boys are more susceptible to getting autism, actually 5 times greater than girls. One thing I want to kind of talk about, yes, autism is considered a disorder, but while talking to Amy Bertram, a habilitative interventionist she works with kids who have disabilities, she believes it's more of a cognitive impairment because the word disorder kind of refers to illness, and therefore it makes them sound like they won't be able to recover from it, they'll never change. And that's not true. They can grow and become different, and they can progress. So what are the causes of autism? There's environmental factors such as what you eat. There's like the MSG and preservatives in your food that they can react bad with the child's immune system, and the child might have intolerances or bad reactions to them. There's also how much exercise the child is getting, because autism affects the brain, and the brain is a muscle, and if it's not exercised, then it will become, it will not grow, I guess is what you could say. It won't develop. Also, there's brain imbalance. They believe that there's been a problem with the 2 hemispheres connecting, and they're not developing at the same rate, so they're not connecting well and making those important transfers of information across. There's also genetics. So they believe, you know, if your grandma might have OCD and your grandpa might have ADHD, and then your mother has anxiety disorder, all of that, all those genetics go down and compound into you and form what is called an epigenetic. So therefore, you have all those symptoms present at the time when you are then diagnosed with autism. So how does someone with autism, how do they get help? Well, there are several treatment options. What I want to talk about most is the therapies or evidence-based practices that they used. And these are most commonly found in school systems. There are 27 of these therapies/practices. And I've seen them present in the special education program at my school. They use instructional practices, which would be peer-mediated instruction and intervention, which is where they bring in children to help mentor, basically, the problem child or the person with autism. And they kind of are an example setter for them. There's also the evidence-based practices or therapies, and one of them, an example, is prompting, where you might help the child with physical, verbal, and visual prompts. So you may say, you know, tap them on the shoulder, or turn their chin, to have them look at you, make eye contact. Or you might use pictures to show them step by step how to wash their hands, for example. You might also talk to them, and kind of give them something to go off of during the conversation. Say, you might suggest, oh, well, tell them about how your day was, or what did you do at the zoo, or something to help them interact with others. So, I hope that you take this information that I've given you and you will use it to help you better communicate with people around you. Not only those who have autism, but anyone, because everyone is different, not only those who